Okay, guys, so this is gonna kind of be another sensitive topic. Got some comments on my last video. This isn't really like stuff for my audience. I don't really think there's an audience for this kind of content, but I don't think that means that it shouldn't be talked about. So if you do find it a little bit too sensitive, feel free to check in on the next video or whatnot. But for today's video, I'm gonna be talking about this Muslim lady who's been kind of trying to put light on this trans non-binary activist or therapist, whatever he is or they are, who goes by the name Jeffrey Marsh. I'm sure if you've watched like Matt Walsh or Ben Shapiro or anything like that, a lot of conservatives have kind of talked about him because he's a little bit creepy in a sense. I guess you could get that vibe. But the reason I found this so interesting was in a lot of these clips I'm going to be playing is this Muslim lady is kind of talking about Jeffrey Marsh and his behavior online, specifically towards young kids. If you've seen these videos, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, buckle up, because here we go.
Okay guys, this video is going to be a bit long.
Stop telling trans people that we're inspirational.
Stop telling kids to go on your Patreon and chat to you privately without their parents knowing.
And then a lot of people made stitches of me saying I'm transphobic, I've done a lot of bad stuff, they've even attacked my scarf, my religion, a lot of bad stuff, which I don't want to go into. And these people have also said they are not talking to the kids. Okay, so I did a little bit of digging.
Hi kids! Hey kids! I want to talk to the kids. Hi kids! Hey kids!
So yeah, there's a lot of videos of them addressing kids. Now, the main video I want to talk about.
Your parents screwed up. It's okay to say so. That's why I made a Patreon.
So you want to talk to kids whose parents have screwed up? Why? Why you want to talk to these particular kids? Why?
That's why I made a Patreon, so that we could talk about it, so that we could connect in a way that has more privacy, so that we could talk to each other in a way that's more open and stuff that we wouldn't share like in the comments of a video like this. I think you're worthy. And
so you want to talk to kids on a social media platform privately about topics that cannot be talked about in the video of TikTok's comments sections. Because why? Why you want to do that? Why you can't chat about these topics in these comments? Is it because it might get flagged or something? What could be the reason? Could this be one of the reasons? Going no contact with the kids' parents? Because you say in one of your videos how kids can go no contact with their parents. So you teach kids how to go no contact with their parents? Is that what you're teaching them on Patreon? Or is it this? You're teaching this more on, because this video might get flagged. That's why I don't want to say the word. And this is Jeffrey Marsh's Patreon. You talk about this topic with kids. Now here are just some of the signs of grooming. Literally one of the first ones, gaining access and isolating the victim. Asking them privately to go on Patreon and talking to them privately so you can connect. And then showing these kids that you trust them, you love them, you'll keep their secrets and to keep them isolated from their parents. And then the icing on the cake is this video.
hi, beautiful. If you do not have a family that loves you, I'm going to be your family.
No, you can't. You are a stranger on the internet. You are not their family. Oh, and another thing. You can turn off age restrictions on Patreon. So kids can go to Jeffrey Marsh's, their Patreon.
So that's a lot to just digest in one video. She did, I think, about 3, maybe 4 more videos on this specific topic, because again, she was getting tons of backlash after this video, not just from that previous stitch that she had done, and just everybody coming at her, calling her transphobe, calling her as she said, making fun of her hijab, making fun of her religion, all this stuff. Whereas she's never said in this video, she never said one thing about him being a trans man or trans non-binary person. She simply was talking about his behavior and how it seemed very much like what a groomer would do, because he's doing this with kids that are 12 and up. Now, the next video is readdressing some of the backlash that she has been getting since this one. So we'll watch this one as well.
Why is it that when a person who looks like me voices their opinions and somehow they become something phobic? There are so many content creators still stitching and duetting my videos and showing that Jeffrey Marsh is not creating content for kids. It's apparently for adults. 1 or 2 videos do say, parents watch this video and then pass it to your kids. Or it says parents and kids watch it together. Let me explain why they say that.
I will tell you about going no contact. So, you've decided to go no contact with your family? It's that time of year again when you start thinking about going no contact. I want to encourage you and say something you may not have heard before. You're going to love it. So I'll give you...
Now, right off the bat, just the amount of videos that this guy has, or sorry, this person has, on going no contact, it's just mind-blowing that people don't seem to see that this is like a red flag of him encouraging children to separate themselves from their family and basically go under his wing, or sorry, their wing. This is going to be a confusing video, but yeah, going under their wing and having them be like their confidant, their person to turn to. Like, I don't know how there's not more red flags flashing when this kind of stuff is being put out there.
A little tip about going no contact with your family.
And the bloody icing on the bloody cake.
I coach a lot of people one-on-one who want to go no contact with their parents.
And these are just some of the videos. Some. So if Jeffrey Marsh is really wanting to talk to the adults, why are they already saying to the kids, go no contact with your adults?
See, even she had to stop herself and correct herself from saying something incorrect, because again, these days you say the wrong pronoun and all this stuff, you are, oh man, you're in the line of fire. It's nuts.
Adults or with your guardians. Why? This is why Jeffrey says parents watch this video as well. It's because the parents are not there, because they have already separated the parents from the kids. So the kids are watching Jeffrey's videos separately and most likely privately, because Jeffrey is coaching them too. Jeffrey does one-on-one coaching on how to go no contact with your parents. Oh wait, where have I seen that before? Oh my God, oh my God, would you bloody look at that, bloody look at that. So that's it. Those are my videos. These are my receipts. And this is going to be the last video I make on this topic. Do you want to know why? A couple of days ago, something happened to my car. And I didn't want to show it on TikTok, but now I will. See that? That happened. That happened to my car. I don't have any cameras on my house, so I don't know who did it. And I'm pretty sure it's not the bloody wind. And remember when I said during the Beans and Toast video that some people know where I live? So yeah, this will be my last video on Jeffrey Marsh's topic. Now you guys decide what you guys want to believe. And also, have you noticed my face has gone slimmer? It's because I'm using the hula hoop. Go to my website, okay? And get it for yourself.
So after this video, she stated this was going to be her last video. And, you know, I saw another YouTuber, a guy that I've watched before, the Black Conservative here. He did a video on this exact same topic. And, you know, I found it quite interesting. I figured, oh, okay, well, if that's her last video, there must not be anything else after that. Well, there was another video, and apparently some schools, I think, are also sending out emails to parents to not have them, like, or to warn them of Jeffrey Marsh. And so I think this video here was the one that was explaining that.
I want you to give a quick update on what's going on with Jeffrey Marsh. I know I said that I'm going to stay out of it, but I just have to show you these videos that I found. So once again, a lot of people are saying Jeffrey Marsh is not discussing with kids. Okay?
They're trying to educate them about the trans community, which, by the way, has nothing to do with sex, you
Thanks for calling me a whatever you called me. And what did you say? They're not discussing with kids? Okay, let me show you something.
Hello, Patreoners. I want to tell you a story that I never have put on social media, that I never have told to anyone. It's about Jeff and I having sex. And are you allowed to talk about that on Patreon? But it's actually not about that. It's about having childhood trauma and how for the very longest time, years actually, I couldn't let go of my sex life.
So what was that again? What was that video that I watched? That was on Patreon. Jeffrey Marsh doesn't talk about... What did you just say that? Oh, and look what else I found on their Patreon.
If you are attempting to figure out if you want to go no contact, let me give you a tip. Go no contact first before you figured it out.
So she's about to say it just like I am. But this guy not only makes content or videos about going no contact, he even promotes doing it before even talking to your parents about it or bringing your parents into the situation. So don't even really discuss it. Just flat out cut them out and then have them kind of wonder what's going on. It's so crazy to me that people are not seeing this guy's videos and causing like red flags going off in their heads. And again, these are on his Patreon, which you have to pay for to get or to view.
If you tell your mother, for example, you're going to go no contact and she makes it all about her. She says, what the fuck does that mean? She steamrolls over your experience or your emotions. She makes it all about her. She tries to manipulate you with guilt. That is really valuable information about how to proceed. If you go no contact and she says, I love you very much, I respect your decision, please take as much space as you need, I'll be working on myself and I'm ready if you ever want to have contact again. That's helpful information too. Give it a shot.
Manipulation comes to my brain. So Jeffrey Marsh is teaching these kids, no matter how your parents react, you should still go no contact. And then after the no contact, who will you go to? You need a friend that will keep your secrets and support you and love you like family, right? So these kids will go to Jeffrey Marsh. I don't get what else I'm supposed to show, honestly. Oh, I know what I will show. A warning from a school to keep away from Jeffrey Marsh.
Absolutely astounding and disgusting. I get parent emails like everyone else does about their kids at school.
I just have one question for those people who are defending Jeffrey Marsh. If Jeffrey Marsh was a straight male, not trans, would you still be supporting them? They would probably be talking to the FBI by now.
And that is another beautiful point that she brings up. If this was just a regular man who's posting videos like this and doing all this stuff, which I agree with her sentiment here, with her question. If it was a straight man doing all this, would everybody be cool with that? And the answer is no. And just like in my last video, where that mother said, you can't trust anybody these days. And, we had the female teachers having those kind of behaviors with the students, and there being like a lot of consequences with those. We have men who are still you need to be aware of what your kids are watching or doing on the internet. And especially with this like trans and LGBTQ movement, female power, all these or feminist, new wave feminism, all these groups and organizations trying to push their message, you just got to be wary, because again, it's not all of them. This is not the majority of the trans community, but this is the type of stuff that paints a negative picture on them, where you get videos like, you know, Matt Walsh. Obviously, he's talking about Jeffrey Marsh himself being a creep, but again, I don't want to have the trans community as a whole targeted because of these bad apples. But when these bad apples are the ones with the biggest voices, it's very difficult to think otherwise. Jeffrey Marsh got sponsored by Tampax to have like a tampon commercial. Why Tampax would have a man, a biological man, advertising tampons for their product makes no sense to me. Now, he claims that it's because he's a non-binary and there's non-binary people who can't have periods. Yes, that's true, but that's because those non-binary people who can have periods are biological women. So, yes, non-binary people can have periods, but that's only because they're biological women. So, again, you start seeing more of this stuff in the world, and especially with, like, you know, National Women's Day that just happened, and a lot of trans women were the ones that were getting the awards for that, which again is mind-blowing to me, why we're not pushing out the women. We're giving them to biological men who say that they're women. Anyways, that's another whole topic and another whole video. But again, love to hear what you guys have to think about this. I know these are sensitive topics. Some people feel comfortable talking about them. Some people don't. Some people like watching these videos. Some don't. I get it. But it doesn't mean that these kinds of conversations shouldn't happen. And they still need to be put out there. But anyways, like I said, you guys let me know, and I will catch you on the next one.